Hello everyone. Today I'd like to share with you 7 steps that you can follow in order for you to have a better conversation and a better coaching session with someone inside of your team and someone else that you're working with. It is very common that most of the managers, leaders, and as well as people who has responsibility or even with colleagues don't really exactly know how to run a positive feedback meeting. And this is crucial because if we really want to have better results at work and also want to have better conversation with our colleagues, teams, or people in general that we work with, it's always good to have in mind these 7 steps that I'll give you today. As a first step, it's important that you always have a safe and confident as well as comfortable space to speak. This means that it is always important to address that conversation privately and not publicly. This will allow the person to speak more confident with you. And you also need to be able to provide that space with your conversation. As a second steps that you need to follow in order for you to have an effective coaching or feedback session, it's to thank your people. It's always good to let them know, hey, thank you so much for being here, speaking with me. Thank you so much for your time. As a third step, you need to start always, despite as many people might think, you always need to start with the positive results or even actions that people or that person has already achieved during the time working for the company, within the project, or whatever activity they have done. There's always, even though or despite the person is a really low performer, there should be something that you really need to address. When we start with these positive results, we also go back to the first step. We give a safe and confident as well as comfortable space to speak. The step number 4 is to let them know, here it's important, right here, the areas of improvement. So we don't have to use a language in a negative statement or not even blame people. That's crucial and important if we want to go to the 5 step. The previous step, when I say we need to address the areas of improvement after you have spoken with them in the positive result, it makes them feel a little bit more engage with your conversation. So it's important to first start with positive results and then go back to the areas of improvement. So for example, you can let them know, hey, I have identified that you need to improve these. You have to also improve these, and you also have to improve the list that we already have. And of course, the reason why we're having a coaching session or a feedback session with people. Also, it's important to let them know, to let them speak. This is crucial, to let them speak. But I will say it's important not. We have to be careful, because while we let them speak, that doesn't mean that they need to give us a lot of excuses. So it is important not to make a room for a lot of excuses, but to make and to get an agreement on improvement, which some companies or many people call the action plans. And these action plans can come in different forms, different like action plan, activities, complete a task, improve a skill, wherever, so on and so forth. Finally, last but not least, to have a better feedback session and to have a better results, you need to back up the conversation either by an email or a system of management that you use. And most important, it's the follow-up. Follow-ups and backups comes together, but backup is important because it's not only to back it up your conversation through an email, through a system of a tool of management, but also establishing deadlines that you already get in the agreement sessions, and then follow up your actions, which is important. 1 week after, 2 weeks after, whichever you have in mind. Finally, last but not not least, it's important to understand that better conversation in a positive approach got us better feedback for people and better positive result for them. So follow me if you want to hear a little bit more on how to have better and effective feedback with your people.